Many of us, of course, were shocked and stunned, still are, when 9 African Americans were gunned down in Mother Emanuel by white supremacist Dylann Roof. Folks, it was shocking and stunning, but he should never have been able to access a gun. That's the basis of a settlement announced today by the families in the Department of Justice. There was a news conference on the steps of the DOJ. This is what was said this morning.
Every day. And my girls know, the anxiety's there, the crying is still there. So you take one day at a time, and I know that I have to be strong for my girls. I have to be the representative for my girls. So yes, there is a settlement. And, I don't think about that. I think about if I had the opportunity to bring Clemente back, I'd switch. You can all take the settlement. Bring my husband back to me. Bring their father back to them.
No amount of compensation will ever replace my father's life, but through the help and the opportunities that the government and the people standing behind me have provided, it allows me and my sister to have the opportunity to make sure that we're doing everything we can to make sure that my father's legacy doesn't go away, to make sure that we are doing everything we can with the rest of our lives, living to our fullest potential, and making sure that his legacy stays uplifted.
They accuse the FBI of negligence when it allowed a licensed firearms dealer to sell a gun to Dylann Roof. Families will receive anywhere between $5 million to $7.5 million each. Roof, of course, is now on death row. Joining me right now is Meg Kinnard. She is a reporter with the Associated Press. Meg, glad to have you here. And of course, glad to have you back as you've been battling breast cancer. And glad to hear about your latest results. It was good news that we shared with our viewers last week.
Hey, Roland, it's really good to be with you. And thank you so much to the fam out there for all the support, all the prayers, lifting me up through this whole journey. It's been a long one. There's more work to be done, but I'm feeling really good. And I appreciate all of y'all so much.
All right, then. Let's talk about this here. This is certainly significant. A lot of folks not knowing the details here of the role that, again, the failure, the loophole Congressman Clyburn is always talking about allowed Dylann Roof to be able to access this gun that killed 9 at Mother Emanuel.
Yeah, that was the whole crux of these lawsuits from Jennifer Pinckney, Senator Pinckney's widow, as well as some other claimants here, some survivors and families of those slain, is that Dylann Roof shouldn't have ever been able to purchase this gun. He went in and he had been arrested several months earlier on a drug charge, and that charge didn't show up when the background check was being run on him. There was an error in the system. The wrong law enforcement agency's data was pulled. And 3 days later, after the waiting period for a handgun purchase, Dylann Roof went back and was able to walk out with the handgun that he then took down to Mother Emanuel. That is something that even at the time, officials at the FBI, including then Director Jim Comey, talked about, that shouldn't have happened. And there were some mistakes made here. So that's what was going on in all of these lawsuits from Jennifer Pinckney and others. And in a statement today, the Attorney General, Merrick Garland, noted that he's pleased with DOJ being able to work with these families to try to bring them what amount of closure they can get at this point, and has consistently said that there is work to be done on that particular issue still.
It's one of those things that when we talk about these loopholes, when we talk about how the NRA and others do all they can to ensure folks have easy access to guns. I mean, that's one of the fundamental problems that we're talking about here in dealing with, and really how what's the end result. You got 9 folks who are dead.
That's right. Unfortunately, this is just one of the most glaring examples of what Congressman Clyburn and plenty of other lawmakers at all different levels of government have talked about, that these sorts of things shouldn't be allowed. I was up in D.C. Earlier today and meeting with some of the attorneys for the families and also one of Senator Pinckney's daughters, Eliana, the one whose clip you just showed there. And with them, one of the things that we were talking about is the fact that there still does remain a lot of work to be done on these issues. It keeps coming up legislatively. And sometimes, unfortunately, as we saw with the Confederate flag situation here in South Carolina, right after the slayings, it does take one of those big moments for there to be action taken, for there to be changes that are actually made. Here we are, more than 6 years after those 9 deaths at Mother Emanuel. So there has been a considerable chunk of time, really. There's no heat of the moment still going on for that. But the argument is still very much there. And this very unfortunate, sad situation continues to be the one that is mentioned over and over when lawmakers and legislators are discussing this. And I can guarantee you that the attorneys involved in this case, one of whom is a state lawmaker, State Senator Gerald Malloy, he's going to continue to remind folks, especially in the Senate chamber here in South Carolina, of their colleague, Senator Pinckney, who was killed, his best friend, his roommate. He's always been their family lawyer. And so he'll continue to bring up the 9 as evidence that something still needs to change on that front.
Meg Kinnard, Associated Press. We certainly appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Roland. Good to see you.
Likewise.
Backdrop Roland Martin Unfiltered video in just one moment.
Maureen is saving big holiday shopping at Amazon. So now she's free to become Maureen the Merrier. Food is her love language, and she really loves her grandson. Like, really loves.
Time to be smart.
Roland Martin's doing this every day.
Oh, no punches!
Thank you, Roland Martin, for always giving voice to the issues.
Look for Roland Martin in the whirlwind, to quote Marcus Garvey again.
The video looks phenomenal, so I'm really excited to see it on my big screen.
Support this man, Black Media. He makes sure that our stories are told.
See, this difference between Black Star Network and Black-owned media and something like CNN.
I got to defer to the brilliance of Dr. Carr and to the brilliance of the Black Star Network.
I am rolling with Roland all the way.
Honored to be on a show that you own. A black man owns the show.
Folks, Black Star Network is here.
I'm real revolutionary right now. Roland was amazing on there.
Stay black. I love y'all.
I can't commend you enough about this platform that you've created for us to be able to share who we are, what we're doing in the world, and the impact that we're having.
Let's be smart. Bring your eyeballs home.
You can't be Black-owned media and be scared.
You dig?